NATO is more than just a military alliance. They like to call it just a defense alliance. The NATO Secretary General Jan Stoltenberg, we are just a defensive alliance, nothing more. No, they're much more than that. And I always quote the first Secretary General of NATO. He was British, and his name was Lord Hastings Ismay. And he said in early 1950s, when NATO was founded, he said, the purpose of NATO is to keep the Germans down, the Russians out, and the Americans in. He means Europe. So that's all you need to know about NATO. And I say to everybody, what has changed, really, in 75 years? What actually has changed? And I'm going to say very little, because Europe is now where it was 70 years ago. The same type of situation. The United States playing the savior of Europe, and going to rebuild Europe, going to defend Europe. So it's a very important. NATO is the glove in which the United States can insert its hand to steer European political, economic, and foreign policy. It's as simple as that. So the United States will never relinquish that role in NATO. They can threaten to do it, but if they do, they will be withdrawing from Europe, and their influence over geopolitics, i.e., whether Russia and Germany can have a productive alliance, whether Europe and Asia can join together, the United States will be out of that picture if they withdraw from NATO. So I think the expansion of the United States in Scandinavia and the Arctic, as an example, is a sign that they are doubling down on their NATO commitments. They're doubling down on their position. And they're not NATO bases in Scandinavia, but they're U.S. bases. But this is the whole beauty of NATO, is the U.S. can use NATO as cover to go in multilaterally without having to pass a resolution of war with Congress, for instance. They can just do it by fiat through NATO. So NATO has always been used like this. Look at the bombing of Libya, look at Yugoslavia and so forth. They've been able to absolve themselves of basically going derelict of their constitutional obligations in the United States by working through, let's say, a vehicle like NATO.